Hello everyone, my name is Agi. Today I'd like to show you how to work with clay, and we also will be testing new liquid metal paint. I have this large 15 centimeters tall styrofoam egg. First, we need to use fine sandpaper to smooth imperfections. Then we cover our egg with decoupage glue or PVA in places where we plan to put clay. I use air drying clay, but because I haven't used it for about a year, it gotten really hard, so I had to add little bit of water to it. If clay is too hard, your shell will crack. Use either your fingers or rolling pin to flatten it, then apply clay on the base of your egg. Try to spread it as evenly as possible, so thickness is the same all around. When everything looks good, take knife and by cutting around the edge create cracked shell, but be very careful not to cut your styrofoam egg. Now we can create cracks all over the clay shell with this rubber stamp. I tried to order those stamps before video goes live, but those are out of stock all the time. If you follow me on Facebook, I will let you know as soon as I get those in my shop. I stick my stamp on plexiglass, but you can use CD box instead. Press it really hard against clay to create cracks and let it dry for a couple of days. When everything is dry, we can cover our egg with primer. One coat will be more than enough. Just remember to mix your primer well before using. As you can see, my clay is slightly cracked, so this means it was too hard. I also think it was too old to start with, but at least you get the idea. Next step is the rice paper. Vintage looking girls with cheeks should be perfect. As always, I remind everyone to tear rice paper with fingers for better blending. We are gluing on round surfaces, so we need to tear images towards center to avoid wrinkles. This will not be visible after varnishing. You can use any decoupage glue and good quality brush. I just discovered those really good brushes and those are for sale in our shop. Link to it is in the description under this video. First, apply glue on your egg and then on top of the picture, starting from the middle, working your way towards edge. Now it's time to paint my shell. I'm so excited to try this liquid paint for the first time. At first I didn't mix my paint properly and I could see white paint showing through. But after correcting my mistake and mixing it really well, I'm over the moon. Pigmentation is amazing and you need only one thin coat, which is good news as this will save you some time and money. At this point we need to work on shading around pictures and clay shell. This time I will be using only brown and green paint to do the shading. We need to use angled brush to work around the shell as shading sponges cannot reach corners. Take little bit of paint on the tip of your brush, dip it in the retarder and create shading. Retarder extends drying time of the paint, so if you mess something up, just wipe it off with damp cloth and start again. Remember not to take too much retarder as your work might dry for several days. Further from the shell, you can use sponges. When you are happy about shading around shell, you can start around images. Apply little bit of paint on smaller sponge, dip it in the retarder, apply it around images, then tap with larger sponge over it to create shading. At the very end, add little bit of water to your paint and splash some dots all over your egg. You can use old toothbrush or brush with stiff bristle. Today I will be using triple thick varnish again. One coat of this product looks like 3 coats of ordinary varnish. It levels itself beautifully so there are no brush strokes and doesn't crack when applied in thicker layer like other brands. I apply varnish only on top part of my egg. When everything is dry, I add little bit of gold wax paste all over my shell, as I think there is too much copper everywhere. But I'm not so sure if this was the right decision. You can decide. And last step is to glue some feather together with wooden stand to my egg. I used large stand from our shop, but I didn't want to paint it as this video is already over 10 minutes long, so I used gold wax paste once again. Cream feather should soften this metal look of my egg, so I glue 5 or 6 to the stand and everything together to the egg. So, after about a week of work, here we are. Not quite the way I expected, but at least you can use some ideas. Thank you for watching and see you soon.